everyone. Welcome back to What's Happening. So, Miss Destiny Payton has been on a little interviewing spree here recently. She's interviewed with quite a few people, and as most recently, she did an interview with Dr. Heavenly, and then just the other day, she interviewed with DJ Richie Sky. Now, during this interview, it came up the situation about Moses marrying Sunni, who was Destiny's producer on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And Destiny says that basically she feels like Sunni Minx single white femaled her. And she also goes into detail about all the times that Sunni was around when she was with Moses. Now, I guess this interview made its way over to Miss Sunni Minx, but it looks like she might not be too happy about what Destiny said, because today she posted, "Bitter Betty is at it again. I'm about to break my silence and let them know why your ex-husband left you, since you can't seem to keep our names out your mouth." She said, hashtag, "It's about to get real. I was trying to spare you." So now I know everybody really wants to know why LeBaric left Destiny after having her son, 3 weeks after having her son. And Destiny has always said that she wanted to keep that part of her life private because she didn't want their son Law to see this information played out on reality TV. But she also said she felt that Sunni snaked her, and that as far as her storyline, she felt like she didn't start having issues with her storyline until Sunni became her producer. But let's take a quick listen to what Destiny had to say about Sunni. And if you want to hear the full interview, you'll have to head over to Destiny Payton's Big D Convo YouTube channel.
Do you does Sunni is Sunni to blame for any of that? And I'm not. That's not a knock towards her, but in making the connection that she was a part of telling your story, right? Now that we know that, what do you look back and wonder if maybe your story was not being told?
I do, actually. I do. And I've made this point too. And even in the conversation that we had in this last episode, we had a whole drag down about production. Of course, it didn't make it because I think it was like too fourth wall, too
Yeah.
much behind the fourth wall. But I was saying, like, were you always like I snaking me? I don't know what other word to call it, but because I didn't become difficult or storyline list until she became my producer. I feel like reality TV, and you've been in reality TV. Everybody has moments of difficulty and tug of wars with, production. But I was like, man, was this a?
Yeah, I mean, and that just kind of occurred to me as we were having this conversation. Like, and I don't think, and I knew I'm gonna be transparent with your viewers, because I told you I wanted to have this specific conversation with you because I understand the relationship between a reality TV personality and the producer. I understand how much faith you have to put in them, because you have to give them everything. If you're having a bad day, if you got a flat tire, if somebody can't take care of your kid that day, if your kid gets sick, they know, because they are somewhat managing your schedule. They need to know your business. You know what I'm saying? So all those little details and things that you would never tell possibly another cast member, any of the audience, that person now knows. So does that feel scary to you?
It does. I mean, I've said in I don't know if it's played because I missed the interviews, but on the show where I said I felt like she single white female me, because granted, the season is broken into two halves. She was not my producer the first half of the season, and I just think back to, even my makeup artist brought this up to me. She said she would come into you remember she used to come in the glam room and just lay across the bed and just hang out with us. At that time, she wasn't my producer. And so, in those times I was getting my makeup done, talking to Moses on FaceTime, doing all my stuff. And I'm just thinking, was she sitting back, like, plotting this? And it could be true. It could not be true. But I think about all of that.
Yeah, for me, I wondered about your mental safety with regards to now looking back over everything that this person now knows, right? And from what I gathered as the information sort of came out, you did an interview and we found out about this situation. Even in that interview, I didn't get the sense that you were attacking her. I got the sense that you were telling your story that
Mm-hmm.
is in fact true.
Mm-hmm.
And so, why do you think that she, from an audience perspective, and I've never had a conversation with her, and this isn't a knock towards her, but on camera, she comes across as very, there's a level of passion, almost bordering on aggression towards you. Why is that?
So I think there's a couple of layers to that. I don't know if it's to be acting. I don't know if it's the aggression could also be fear because she's now in a relationship with someone that I once was with. And it could be fear of what is there still feelings there? Or, you know, because my therapist actually, my life coach actually brought that up. And it was like fear and anger looks the same.
Mm.
And so it's like, it could be that. It could be that. I don't know. I didn't get it. I still don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either because in my mind, I'm like, I think about how relationships work. And when you found your person, like normally you are very happy. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
You
like,
should be in the honeymoon phase, getting
yes,
big D's
like
daily.
nothing should matter. You know what I mean? Like you get into that, and I know what that zone is. So it's curious to me why a she would choose to, I guess, sort of really talk about you being a
And it's
side
sad
chick.
too because, this is the same person that watched me cry. This is the same person that was there when my dad found out he had cancer. This is the same person that knew about my domestic violence journey. Um, so for me, it's whoa, like, whoa.
Yeah. Do you regret her knowing those things at this point?
I don't, because one of the things that I am happy about is, I was silent for a very long time and I was not comfortable with and what I was dealing with. But now all my truths are out. All my hidden stuff is out. So yeah, no, I don't really have a problem with her knowing it. I mean, she's been lying all this time anyway. So if she want to come out and talk about the truth, it's gonna make her look worse of what I was going through. Because I saw an interview where she said something about with Dustin, where she was like, she's always, she was going through a lot. And I'm thinking, how could you say those words and then turn around and attack me when you know that that's the truth? And she trying to play victim, and I'm like, I didn't play anything. I never wanted that role, baby girl. It just came to me.
Because I would also think as a producer, there's a level of I'm not gonna say the things that I know that I learned while I was your producer.
Hmm.
Um, so that is a little disheartening to me. Just to kind of see her now as a cast member. My question to you is, do you think that was always her objective?
Well, I remember conversations like, being in a reality where you're like, this bullshit. I ain't doing this, you mad. And she's like, Destiny, it's so many people that want to be in your position. It's girls that would dream to be on television. And at that time, I didn't know that those were her aspirations. I had no clue. And I've said this, like, you telling me all of these girls that would love to be in my shoes, and this you were talking about, you were one of those girls. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't have a brand new marriage and bring it on a show.
That was going to be my question. Like going
The
back
way
to
that
that,
you did, because I know some people get married on TV and all those things, but what I
yeah,
mean by the story behind it, it's already so it's a
the
lot.
waters
So
are muddy. I mean, it is. So it's almost like, you know how you talk about your how we met, right? And you think back on it and you think back on your wedding and you think about all these little things that occur afterwards. Now that memory is going to be clouded by what is happening on the show. And it's not it
And
doesn't
then, you
look
know,
good.
they said you got married in 90 days, so y'all didn't even really have an engagement or have that. You just got married and hopped on a TV show and started attacking the person that actually brought y'all together.
Well, listen, I definitely I don't know Miss Sunny. I don't
I don't
have any
either,
ill
clearly. You and me both, Richie.
I don't have no ill will towards her, and if
And I don't either. I really
if this
don't.
is where they want to be, then I definitely wish them well. I do have some questions that I have been dying to ask you about your relationship with him because I think that he too has a lot of ownership in this situation. We learned because that was going to be a bit. Nell asked a very valid question. Have the two of them ever been around you when you and Moses were together?
Absolutely. Multiple times. You want me to start at the top? So the first
Yeah.
time was
I mean, you know, we got a little
outside
bit.
of the many FaceTime calls that
Okay.
Moses and I had on set, and Sunny being in my house or around in glam room, you know, outside of that, physically, Monica's show that I opened up for, she went and got him from the door and gave him his wristband. It's
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
I want to say the second time was a brunch that I went to with her, and we met her at a store, and I hopped in the car with her. So that's another time. The time that really makes it diabolical is her sitting next to him at my birthday dinner.
Looking back on that moment, I'm sorry. I hate to take you back there, but looking back at that moment, did you notice? Do you think you noticed anything then? Any sparks or any like?
No, he was all up in here. He was
Okay,
all up in here, but also it was a friend of there, and also Moses's cousin, which is weird because she told me they were cousins in the beginning. That I thought they had a situationship going on, so I invited him. So
gotcha.
it was like my accountant and her boyfriend were there. My the cousin and Sunny were together, and then Moses and I. So it was like almost like a very intimate type of setting with, I can't say couples, they weren't a couple, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes, it was some coupling happening. Um, I need to go back in time because this she has
And she walked out beside me, and we were holding hands, him and I.
the side chick accusations that she's sort of come out with, which are baffling to me because I'm like, if you see he's making if we follow her logic, if he's making you a side chick, then he has a chick when she gets with him. What does that then make her out
Her, has her that
other
same
than
person.
being a chick on the side who's watching from the side? Like, I don't know. Like, it just seemed to me like maybe that's not the right insult that she wanted to throw
It's
at you.
actually insulting to him.
Well, it is. It definitely is. I mean, it definitely gives him the brand of like very little respect for the women that he's dealing with. And he seems to have no problem with it, which is interesting because maybe it makes him look like a player. I really don't know. I want to know the timeline for you and Moses over these 15 years because that has come up on the show.
And people are really confused. I don't
Yeah.
understand why people don't understand that knowing someone for 15 years is different from being in relation, contact, or communication.
Okay.
Like, I've known you for 5 years or longer. That doesn't mean that you and I are in constant communication.
Right.
So
Okay, so we heard what Destiny had to say, and she just kind of goes on and explains how in that 15-year time frame, her and Moses were not always in communication. So there were gaps in between that 15 years that they've known each other. But let me know your thoughts about what she had to say about Sunni. Do you think there's some validity to what she's saying? And what are your thoughts about Sunni threatening to expose personal information that Destiny shared with her as her producer? I want to know your thoughts. Jump down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And as always, you guys, I thank you all for watching and listening, and I will talk to you in the next video. Please give this one a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from What's Happening.